The next item we are going to cover here, also still relating to blogs, is adding and editing blog feeds. So this is something you're going to need to look at again when you start to update some of those blog categories, because these feeds are based on categories. So, as the old categories start to disappear, you're going to need to update the feeds so that it is making sure to pull in posts so that they're not empty. In any case, we're just going to use this as an example. There is not currently a blog feed on this page, so we are just going to come to the back end here. This is your button to access templates. You'll see more and more appearing here as we get further into the trainings because I'm making these fresh as we go. But right now, when you click on it, there is just these two items here. I couldn't quite bring myself to delete this, but you can, of course. Here's the blog feed template. So basically, when you click on this and any of these, what it's going to do is just add that template block, and it's going to have existing content in it. So this one says, check out our blog. Obviously, we want to update that to whatever it needs to be. The spacing and everything is already set. I believe that the background color on all of the blog rows is consistent throughout, but if you want to start, varying that, you can come right here. You can see the little color swatch right here. That's what'll show you what the color is on any of these. And if you want to start updating those, you can just click on that little icon. So let me just back up for a second here. You'll see that there's pencils, which is the edit icon for a lot of different things. So for the color, you have to edit the row, which is this whole thing. So it's at the top of this tabbed area here, this whole section that you can move around. So if we come right here and we click on the pencil, and then across the top, we have a number of tabs here, and we just come right to design options. And then here we can come to the background color and we can choose it. There are some defaults here. None of them, I don't believe, are your colors specifically, so you'll need to use, one of the hex color codes to access that. It can be very helpful to add a little plugin to your browser that lets you sample colors. So that way, if you know that you want a color that's this color, you can just sample it from the front end of the website. Or you want the green, you can sample it, and then you can just get the hex code very easily. In any case, that is where, get rid of that. This is where you would update the color for the row. The blog link is already set here, so I don't know, if you want to, again, shake it up and make the label different, you can come here to update the label on the button. Type in the text that shows up on the button here. I suppose you could start linking to specific categories. So if you wanted to say, see all blog posts in company news, you could do that, and then you could update the link here to be that specific category link. But I think mostly what you'll be doing is updating this right here. So this is what controls the feed for the blog. I find it most helpful to use the slug, what we call the slug, rather than the name of the category. So if we come to posts and we come to this categories tab that I showed you before, this is the slug over here, and why it's handy to use that rather than the name, because then down the road, if you change the name, the slug you could leave the same and it would still be pulling in the right items. But if you use the name and then you change the name, it's going to break the feed. So this, I think, is usually better to use for that. So you can just copy and paste the slug for whatever category that you want into this. It's just comma separated, and that's it. If at some point you want to change this to a bigger number, we would need to talk. You could technically change it, but it's not going to look right, obviously. If you want to specify very specific blog posts rather than a category, you can use the blog post ID. And to do that, you would just come to the Posts view. Sorry, my internet connection at home today is slow. I don't know if my screen is going to show it very well, but I'm sure, again, you're probably aware when you hover over a link, there in the very lower left corner, it'll show you the link. And so I can see down there that it says post equals 23562. If that's not making any sense, you can also come into the post, and once you do, again, it's right up here. And so you can, you could potentially make specific posts if you wanted that there. That won't obviously auto-update with the freshest content, but if it's important that very specific posts show up, you can do that. Again, it's comma separated, just like the example down below here shows. That should be everything that you need to know about being able to add and modify blog feeds on different pages. If there's something that I left out or something that's wrong with this video, as with any of the others, please just let me know and I will make a new one. Thank you so much.